Yeah, but that would be crazy if they came out and said, okay, whites only. That
I'm
would
j-
be
I mean, I
crazy.
don't
That would
know.
be
Maybe it's
so
because I'm
crazy.
black, but I'm like, lots of places say that without saying that. Like, yeah,
Oh,
get
okay,
on
I'm
your
gonna have to
black
do some.
trans
I'm gonna have
activist.
to do some googling.
You over here mad about
Uh,
exclusive spaces?
no, I'm not mad. I have to intentionally press just because I'm trying to understand. Like
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
don't have any skin in the game, so I don't. I just from like a spectator
yeah,
standpoint, I guess of okay, why though?
yeah,
Why
yeah.
is it that
I mean,
way?
I always am like, we socially construct a lot of things, and I think everyone gets really upset about race. Where I'm like, it's literally just categorizes your shade of skin. It's
Oh yeah, it's
kind
a
of,
stupid
it's
metric.
stupid. We could get rid of it if you really wanted, like, but for so long, so many things have been like created around it. It's like,
I think it's just again, I think it's just a slippery slope. And the only reason I say that is because we both know that if again back like if they were starting white meetings in town, most people would say, okay,
I mean, there already are.
that's
They
a
just
problem.
don't
Are
say
people
it.
doing that? Do you
Are
really?
people of color or young people going to like these meetings, or like, excuse me, anyone outside of a certain sphere of communications doesn't know about any of the local meetings that happen. And I promise you I can list the communities that are outside of those spheres that receive those communications, like to know that those meetings are happening, or like going to a town hall meeting, like look around, who are the people that are knowing to be there at that time, unless there's like a deliberate motion happening that affects communities of color, they normally are not going to those meetings, which just
Like a
doesn't
board of supervisors
like a
meeting?
board of supervisors meeting, or like Eureka Town Hall, or
But is that by choice of them just not going?
well,
To be
I
fair,
mean,
I haven't gone either,
no,
but I've
no, I'm
watched
saying
them.
like those people are less likely to be in the line of communication to know that that meeting is happening, just based off of like demographics of who holds those jobs in our community, or like who the people that are included in those conversations are less likely to be people of color based off just off our demographics, because there's so few of us. And so I'm not saying that is an exclusive space. I'm just saying that by the way it functions, it often becomes an exclusive space because it's not accessible to everybody.
Well, anybody could go,
You
to be fair.
can, but
Anybody
it
could show
only
up.
happens at a certain time. It only well, when it was virtual, I was like, they should just keep these virtual, because any like
It's
it's
perfect.
perfect because you
Or
can
at
just
least
kind of,
live stream them.
yeah, because
Which
you
they
can just
do. They
drop
do.
in. So I'm like, I hope they keep that. Anyone that's a part of that, keep
Yeah. I
that
watched one a
function.
couple weeks ago and it was in person, but they live streamed it,
Yeah,
and that's how I saw
yeah,
it.
yeah. But prior to that, you would have to like not work at that time,
Or
which
catch
is
the
an office
replay
hour.
on the news at like
But if it's a
Sunday at
replay, you
7.
can't even go do anything. Like,
Yeah, then it doesn't matter at that
yeah.
point.
So just a tiny, like, just reflecting on how these things like pop up in lots of ways, I guess.
Yeah, but that would be crazy if they came out and said, okay, whites only. That would be crazy.
I mean, I don't
That
know.
would be
Maybe
so
it's because I'm
crazy.
black, but I'm like, lots of places say that without saying that. Like,
But couldn't an argument be made that who now, okay, how am I gonna say this? Couldn't that be some people definitely do, right? That is a real thing. But some people could that just be misinterpreted? Okay, what do you
well,
mean when you say that?
I mean, like, so ready, there's some, I can never, it's a fraternity that's like, or sororities do this too.
Here locally? Oh,
No,
you're
just
saying
in general.
Okay.
So the concept of that, right? So fraternity and sororities, some of them you can only be in if a family member has been a part of it. And so if that university didn't start even having black students until the 1980s, that was an exclusively white space for a pretty long time. Like, you know what I mean? Until someone waved out of that and maybe had an interracial child, but for the most part, it could be assumed that that lineage was pretty white for a while. And like similar things like that, where what's being handed down, or whatever, to get in, same thing, country club, you have to like be a certain price bracket to be in a country club once upon a time, whereas like black folks couldn't even have good paying jobs until whatever. And it's like, so once again, another place that probably took a while for it to be fully integrated, just based off of the credential to get in or whatever it may be, or like the wage gap for so long because Black people couldn't go to college. You know, there was just a huge wage gap there, and it was like Black people weren't gonna even be middle class, and there's so many things you don't get to do once you make it to middle class America, whatever.
Couldn't get loans to buy houses.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like you have to be a homeowner to join this club. I'm not telling you it's exclusively white, but if you are not allowed to own a house as a Black person, I'm telling this now is an exclusive space.
Do you think that's a problem?
I mean, I believe it's a problem we're dismantling slowly now. But I mean, I'd like to think that like things like redlining are a thing of the past, but I don't live everywhere, you know. I know people still have some pretty radical ideas around race in like the middle of the country, maybe some southern towns.
Yeah, there are definitely a few nut jobs still out there.
Well, I won't
think
say
it is.
nut jobs.
I will
but-
say nut jobs. I'll say it for both
yeah,
of
I'm
us.
like, he said it.
Nut jobs. But or not, but yeah, there definitely are. I think it's. I mean, we are definitely making a lot of progress for sure. I would say.